This is HQ in the house, and I'm having weather issues. I thought I would be okay, but apparently not. uh, I wonder, can you hear me or you can't hear me? I have no idea why my stuff froze right here, where I cannot, hear or see anybody. Can you can hear me? Okay. Because I can hear me. I mean, I see it, but I'm frozen. Yeah, I'm frozen. I don't know why the hell I'm frozen. What the hell is going on? Shit. I don't have nothing open. But then again, I'm having weather issues. I'm having a lot of weather issues down here. That's why. Because it's been storm and rain and no sound. This is crazy. It's crazy. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Okay. So we came to do the review of the. Y'all let this keep go live muted. I sure did. No, I was frozen. I don't know what the hell's going on. My whole system is messed up. I was fine a minute ago. So I wanted to come on here. Okay, good. Because it might blank out. I might blank out all of those things. I don't know what the hell is going on. So came on here to do the review. Wow, I heard it had gotten wild when it came to this to this debate. Um but between Fatty and Ali, Fatty with Ali, and controversial Shannon with the public offender. I had never seen the public offender. I had never seen Shannon, the controversial Shannon before, so I don't know who he was. I don't know where he came from. So I was like, okay, well, let me do this little review. I'll do a review of him. Let's see what's going on. And I listened to the debate, not all of the debate, but the bulk of the debate. And they all had, it was like they were talking around each other. And when people talk around each other, you get every point of view. If it was one person going against it, then it was the other person going against the talking points, right? So that let me know when I first was listening to this debate, I was like, okay, so now we got two opposites of everything, right? Because controversial Shannon and the public offender, apparently they were right on they were right on time with each other. So is Fatty and Ali, who have worked together for a while, who have had debates together for a while. So they know each other's talking points. They know what each other is going to say, right? And they could counter each other. And I don't know who won this debate. I don't know how. I can't even say, right? So I tried to take the debate. I tried to take each question that they asked, X, Y, and Z. I tried to take the question and then listen to each of their answers, okay? But the first part we got into was the body count part. That wasn't the first question, but we got into the body count part. Okay. So I had to listen to it. How did you feel, or how do people feel about this body count thing? This was one of the questions that Fatty asked. And I understand that this particular question is a hot topic, but it's something that you cannot change. It's something you cannot base your life. You cannot base life. You cannot base liking someone on or hoping that the woman that you want has waited for you and not been living her life. You cannot base me finding somebody on somebody who's going to live their life, because if you're 30 and you've been living your life, it would only make sense that a woman who is 30 has also been living her life. So therefore, what you think may happen because you're a man and she's a woman doesn't necessarily mean she's gonna not do what she wants to do as well, which is the problem that I have with people who talk about body count. Because when you talk about body count, it's always subjective to people, and people are always saying, well, that's not really what I mean, that's not really what I care about, blah 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 blah, according to the public offender. So let's answer the question, or let's listen to what they got to say first about the question.
What you're doing, Fatty, is this is just a straw man argument. You're just
here we go.
A lot of people is subjective, correct?
Oh my God! What is
what?
Okay, give me your number.
What's the high body count?
Give me your number. No. You guys, no, sir. I will agree with you. I want to know from Shannon and public offender, what is the high body count for woman? Go ahead.
I don't freaking know, bro. I don't know.
Oh, you don't know?
I don't know. Let me answer the question.
Y'all never know nothing.
Let me answer the question. You can have your own personal idea of what a high body count.
So tell me your personal idea.
Okay, let me. I can't.
Why would you answer that question?
Hold on, y'all. Before we do this, hold on.
Let me answer Fatty question.
Okay, go ahead, Shannon.
Let me answer Fatty question.
Go ahead, Shannon.
Bro, to me, bro, I don't care about a high body count. Most people, a lot of people, as men, I'm not gonna project this on all men, but I've heard men say that if she has more than 3 bodies, then she's a 304. Okay, but I've heard different type of arguments from other men. But me, I don't care, because if that's my woman, that's my woman. I don't care about your past. Now, a lot of men, I don't know if there's an ego problem, but most women ain't gonna be virgins when you meet them, bro. So I'm sorry. So when you talk about promiscuity, here's my thing. If we're gonna speak on it, why is you putting your D inside of her when you can keep your stuff in your pants too? Because we're not speaking about the men be promiscuous. You can sleep from her legs. You don't have to sleep with that woman. But there's one more thing I wanted to say to Fatty, so we can progress the conversation. I don't know when we're going to stop talking about single mothers, because last time I checked, the national birth rate is 1.6. It's going to die off. In every way you wanted women to respond, they are responding, bro. You told them to vet better. They said we're not going to choose at all. You told them they're having children out of wedlock, right? Stop having these kids. The national birth rate is down. Now, they may not be responding to the way we wanted them to, right? Because you thought it was going to be a different outcome, but they are responding, fam. So at what point do we progress and say, okay, well, they're handling their business in this area. So let's talk about something else that maybe women could, step up.
All right. What was that he was saying? What was he saying? He was saying that women are changing, as well as men are changing, as well as men. We are here at this point. Women have heard people say X, Y, and Z, and men have heard people say X, Y, and Z. People are becoming more conscious of what they do. They may say certain things, but they understand you have to do X, Y, and Z in order for you to get the results that you want. Okay? To get the results you want. Now, controversial. This is the first time I ever saw this person, this controversial Shannon. So, I mean, he's seen in public offender. I saw a public offender on Lapeef's panel for the first time. I saw him there, right? And that was a couple weeks ago, a couple weeks ago. So these young men have their talking points down, just like Fatty and them had their talking points. Here's the thing, depending on how you feel, either one of those groups of men could be right. Okay? Either one of those men can be right. The Shannon side can be right, and then the Ali side can be right. I happen to fall in the middle of these guys. I happen to fall into the middle. To some things I agree on, some things I don't. Okay? The one thing I don't agree on, and you all know I don't agree on it, is the body count thing. The body count thing. Because that is subjective. It's subjective because I don't think it's relevant at all. Simply because it doesn't measure your worth as a man or a woman. The number of partners doesn't tell anybody whether you're going to be loyal, whether you're going to be kind, whether you're going to be respectful, or whether you're going to be a good partner. None of those things are determined by how many body counts you have. So body count shouldn't matter because it doesn't tell you any of the things that are important if you want to be in a relationship. Okay. And it's a factor, and it's something that rattles around and that would rattle around in your brain that men say, oh, we will know, we won't be able to tell. It doesn't matter because it won't tell you if you're loyal, kind, respectful, or whether you're going to be a good partner. And those are the 4 traits that most people look for in a mate. You want somebody loyal, kind, respectful, and you want them to be a good partner. What part of that says if she has 2 body counts, 2 bodies, that she's going to be a good wife or mother or whatever? What part of that loyal, kind, and respectful and good partner says anything about whether she has 10 body counts, she's not going to be a good partner? None of those things, having a high body count or low body count or low body count, high or low, neither one of them determines whether you're going to be a good person or a good mate. Okay? So I'm one of those people who that doesn't matter. That's not a determining factor, or it shouldn't be for anybody. I understand if her profession was a prostitute. I understand if her profession was an OnlyFans person, but a regular, ordinary individual who don't have STDs, a body count doesn't determine whether she's going to be a good wife or a bad wife. Long as that person don't have no STDs, body count shouldn't matter to anybody. As long as they don't have that. I mean, that's my thought. Because then you'd be sitting there thinking about what the hell, who she slept with all day. And she can be the best person that came down the pike, but you worried about what her body count is. Y'all hit the like button coming in, please and thank you, please and thank you. Please and thank you. Let's continue.
We can't.
Time to move the goalposts again. On 3, fellas. 1, 2, 3, push.
I
Yeah, we
literally
can't-
answered this question.
Did you notice how I asked you a question? And just
I answered your question.
You said that you were going to answer my question, and you moved the goalpost.
I answered your question. I literally said, what would be you asked me a personalized question. Body count is going to be different to every man. I said that some men have said that high body count to them is 3. Other men have said it's 5. My goodness gracious. I answered your question. And then because you brought up single mothers in your statement, I actually asked the question saying, when are we going to stop talking about it? Because the number is dwindling. It's dwindling. It went from 2.1 to 1.6.
They are having less kids, but doesn't mean they're not fucking less. They're actually fucking more. They're fucking. That's exactly the point.
Hold on, real quick, Fatty.
See, I think what problem. No, HQ don't need no help. I know exactly what I'm talking about. Y'all need help. No, you need help. I think the problem with men today is they think because if you have a high body count or you have a whatever body count, that you're not a good person or you're not a person that could be a good spouse. And that's not true. Yes, Fatty is live now. And I think that's the problem. If you think that it's correlation, but it's not, okay? It's not. Fatty always live. Fatty live every day, damn near, except yesterday and the day before. Fatty always live. And so this is the problem I have with that, because it's a non-starter, and it's something that you cannot change. You cannot do anything about the body count. Nobody is going to sit around and wait for something that may or may not happen. I may never get married, so I'm supposed to not have any kind of relationships, not have any kind of anything, because I'm not married, or I may get married, or it may, you never know what's going to happen. So Fatty's argument is based on, well, she's ain't having many kids, but she's still fucking. What difference does it make whether I'm still fucking? I ain't having no kids. He went from 2.6 to or was it 2.3 to 1.6, something like that, right? So if it only went to 2, it went down to, that means people are fucking less, or people are having less children. Now they heard it. Let's not get pregnant. But that ain't gonna stop them from having sex. It's not gonna stop people from having sex. Okay.
Statistically, again, not just pulling shit out of my ass. Women of today are having less sex than they were 20 years ago, statistically.
So they have less bodies?
They're literally women, again, like what Shannon's talking
right
about.
Right now, they have less bodies?
Right, in 2025, women are having less sex than they were 20. It is true. You can go look it up.
To make sure that we got this correct, you are telling me that the average woman in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s were having less bodies than women right now in 2025.
I literally just said exactly what the hell I said. Again, I'll repeat it for the people in back. 20 years ago, women were having more sex than they are right now. I don't know what
I accept that. I accept that.
Sexual partners were in 1950.
I accept that.
Nowhere near around.
I accept that. But public, you have to listen to me, right? No man says the golden era of woman was in the 90s, right?
I don't know what you mean by yes, freak. I don't know what you mean by own it. What do you mean own it? I'm confused about what own what. A woman knows her body count. She owns it because she knows it. What you mean? Tell everybody in the mama who my body count is? Does that mean, is that how you mean I should own it? I should tell everybody I got 40 bodies. I should tell everybody I got 30 bodies. I should tell everybody. That's owning it. Owning it means I'm willing to declare what it is. Most people are willing, but most people also think their body count is not your business. So I don't know what you mean by why not own it. Most people don't have that many bodies, so therefore they own the bodies that they got. It's only people who may have a huge amount of bodies that don't want to own the bodies, but then again, maybe they do. I don't know. That doesn't make sense. Why not own it? What do you mean, why not own it? Declare it to the world? Declaring it to the world would mean owning it. And nobody's declaring that to the world. That makes no sense, freak.
No.
Now he moving the goalpost, bro.
No, I'm not moving right now on that bullshit. You don't hit it at the right time. You're moving the goalpost.
No, I'm not moving the goalpost.
You.
No, 1 second. So public.
No.
If for example.
No, that's not what you said. What you said was own it. What do you mean by own it? Everybody owns their body count. They can't get away from their body count. What do you mean own it? Own it how? I don't understand. What do you mean? Nobody knows your body count. Nobody knows it. You could say 2 and it'd be 20. You could say 1, it could be 50. You could say 50, it could be 1,000. Every human owns their body count. Every human owns their body count. Okay. I don't know what you mean. Yes, freak. Yeah, this is some weird logic. Okay. It's some weird logic. because they're not, because nobody, if they don't want to own it, they don't want to, they don't have to, that's the whole point. They don't have to tell you if they don't want to tell you. And what does body count have to do with you being a loyal, respectful, caring human being that would be a good partner? Please explain. Somebody explain to me how that makes the difference between loyal, kind, respectful, and good partner. Of course I don't, because it makes no difference. I could tell you one and I really got 50. Still doesn't matter, because you wouldn't know the difference. That's why I'm saying it's an argument that makes no sense. Why ask something when you don't know, when you won't believe what I tell you anyway? Right?
You told me men right now are less romantic than 5 years ago. Right? No, it's an analogy. I'll say it.
More or less romantic.
Public, I will stay right here. I just want you to explain something
Right.
so you understand the conversation is in good faith. If you told me, hey, men are less romantic right now than they were 5 years ago, I will tell you that's an inconsequent argument, because we have to go to the golden era of the poets, of the R&B singers, of the men saying that they love women.
It's about telling the truth. This is owning it. Okay, who am I telling the truth to? Man, because you had to, many men inside you. Are you serious right now? Come on, y'all. Come on. I'm telling you, stop running with the talking points. They're not true. The body count does not determine whether you're a good partner, whether you're a respectful person, whether you're a kind person, whether you're a good partner. That makes no difference. Okay? That doesn't determine whether you're a good person.
And what are y'all
That's
doing?
subjective. Who the fuck knows?
Everybody.
How do you quantify?
The problem is everybody wants a good person, a kind person, a loyal person. Everybody wants all that. So I got 40 bodies. You ask me how many bodies I got. Oh, I only got 5. If he likes her, 5 is fine. Okay. If he likes her, 5 is fine. Well, no, I really got 7. I really got 7. I really got 7. Or I really got 9. If he likes her, it ain't gonna make a difference. Okay. Everybody wants women to tell the truth, because it doesn't matter. Okay. Yes. You got to keep your legs closed. But people ain't gonna do that, so ain't no point in saying that. Yes, she's got to be happy, but she's not gonna be happy. She won't stay. You gotta decide whether you're gonna be happy or not. You're gonna have to decide whether you're gonna be happy or you're gonna worry about these inconsequential things like body count. It ain't worth. All I'm saying is worrying about body count ain't got you no further than getting wives. Ain't getting nobody further than getting them a girlfriend. Ain't got them further than getting X, Y, and Z. So if that ain't got you further in the relationship game, why is it on the platform? Or why is it on the platform trying to make a distinction for a woman? It doesn't make you a respectful, loyal, loving person, regardless of how many body counts you got. I'm not saying body count is totally inconsequential. I'm saying body count doesn't determine how you would treat a person in a relationship. And the argument is, oh, she got a lot of bodies, she ain't gonna be a nice person. Oh, she got a lot of bodies, she ain't gonna be a loyal person. Why not find out if she's a loyal person? Ain't that the most important thing? The most important thing is finding out whether she's a loyal person. The most important thing is finding out if she's a good person. The most important thing is to find out if she's a good partner. That's all I'm saying.
Romance. How do you quantify romance?
No. So,
man, hold on, brother. Hold on, man.
This is amazing.
Seriously, it's the conversations are so goofy because you cannot stick to one thing. It's stupid.
I'm literally talking about
Fatty, hold on, brother. You brought up promiscuity. I said that women are
how many people are trying to be in monogamous? Most people who want to be a couple, most people who want to be in relationships want monogamous, stable relationships. Most people do. Most people do. You ask most people who say, if I get in a relationship, I would love to have a monogamous relationship where my woman don't cheat on me. Or a woman would say, I would love to be in a monogamous relationship where my man don't cheat on me. Most people want to be in a relationship, a monogamous. If they want to be in a relationship, they want to be in a monogamous one. Okay? Most people do. Okay?
less bodies now than they had in the last 20 years. Shannon pointed out the fact that women are having less babies now than they've had in the last 20 years. And you are talking about romance now, bro.
Hey,
like
somebody, you are easily distracted. Somebody is asking if they're fucking less, why are the STD rates higher?
What? STD rates have nothing to do with promiscuity, just so you know.
No, what? Wait. So people fucking more doesn't elevate the STD rates?
That's not what it is.
Wow.
So people fucking more, a woman having 30 bodies or a man.
You gonna listen, Fatty?
Yes, my point exactly to healism. People want everybody wants monogamy, but they don't want to be tied to a human being. So why, if you don't want to be tied to a human being, why are you worried about what kind of body count they got? You don't want to be faithful. Why are you worried about what she doing? Or if she don't want to be faithful, why are you worried about that? I don't understand. If you want to be in a monogamous relationship, you want to have loyalty, respect, and a kind human being. Them would be your first ones. Loyalty, respectful, and kind. Okay. Those are the first things that you look for. I'm not worried about how many bodies he got. I'll deal with that later on. I got to worry about whether I can get along with this person. He's a kind person, respectful person, and can make a good partner. Why would I lead with, oh, let me see how many bodies you got? I got to know whether I could fall in love with you if you got 5 bodies. You got 5 bodies, I can't fall in love with you. You got too many bodies. If you got 10 bodies, you 35, you got 10. I can't fall in love with you if you got that many bodies. I say Fatty in this this debate on their side. They're worried about too many things that are factors they can't control. And I still go back to the same thing. We're all looking for the same thing: loyalty, respect, kindness. And whether a person could be a good partner. You lead out the gate worried about somebody's sexual history, you're going to lose a lot of women, lose a lot of men that way too. No. Stop spouting talking points to me, Black America. That's not how that works.
Or you want to know the answer?
You know what? I will let you.
I said, don't. Why would you lead with that? Why would you lead? Most people ain't going to tell you that. Yes, I said men should stop being hoes, Mr. Walker. I said that.
The rate of STDs, similarly to anything where it comes to you going to the doctor, is dictated by you going to the doctor. Right. You only know what the rate of STDs are by how many people actually go. More people, because it happened in Houston, it happened in Texas. More people, they went and got checked out. That's what happened. A bunch of people got checked out. And then boom, lo and behold, the rate was high and all of that. Yeah.
Men hold on. So and when we want to project, if we want to talk about women and their high, STD rates, you can look into this yourself if you want to. You can pull it up right now. Men don't go to the doctor. Like we don't go to the doctor compared to women. We go to the doctor less. Matter of fact, you go to the doctor.
I mean, is that an argument? Is that argument working? The fact that women will go to the doctor. Because when you have an STD, things happen to a woman's body. When she has gonorrhea, she has a drip, or she's sick, or illness, or something. I don't know what kind of illnesses you have if you have certain things. I don't know what those are. But most women will go to the doctor. Most women will go to the doctor immediately. She'll get checked out like immediately. Can men say the same? Because he's making the argument, Faye is making the argument, oh, women sleep around so much, they got all the diseases. But women know they have those diseases. Women know when they get those diseases. Men don't go to the doctor like that. So if you don't go to the doctor like that, and none of y'all go to the doctor, all of y'all could still be having diseases and wouldn't even know about it. Compared to women who they record women going to the doctor. So therefore, it looks like women have the highest STD rates, but the men ain't even showing up at the doctor's door. So how do we know how many diseases a man got? Yeah. But there's certain chlamydia and herpes, you may not have no symptoms on those kind of things. So therefore you wouldn't go to the doctor, now would you? If you don't have no symptoms, you wouldn't go to the doctor. You said if something is wrong with the dick. Herpes, you won't see nothing wrong with the dick.
When you get married more. When you get married, that's when a man starts to go to the doctor more, because his wife is usually the one who's telling him to go get checked up. But men, right, especially black men, we have this problem. Like that's a literal mental problem, and we need therapy for that. We have a fear of going to the doctor. We don't go to the doctor like we're supposed to, bro. So of course, these type of illnesses and diseases are going to be found in women more because they're getting checked out more, bro. It doesn't mean that.
I just want to make this clear, and I'll leave, then you got it. I promise. So
All right.
You are saying that
Walker.
People with 2 bodies, 5 bodies, have the same rate of STDs than people with 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 bodies. That's what y'all telling us?
They can't have the same rate. They can have the same disease.
Hold on, wait. No, I could tell you, I could blow that whole thing up because the number one demographic of people who are getting infected with STDs are married women. With one, they've only had one body in the last however many years. Why are they getting infected with like that? Why are they getting infected with STD? I wonder how that could be. How is the rate of infection? The number one demographic of people being affected are married women. I wonder what's going on there.
Because y'all women fucking the same man. The men are the super spreaders because one man is fucking their husband. No. There's literally a definition called a super spreader.
Where did they get that? Where did people get that? Where did people get the idea that women are fucking all the same men? Where did y'all get that idea from? Just because Bum Keisha got multiple nug babies, daddies. What happened to the rest of us women out here who don't be swapping men like that? So they got it from Bum Keisha. It's got multiple baby daddies, so they assuming that all of us are fucking the same men. Average men are having sex out here. The average men are having sex. Unless you're just absolutely distasteful, the average men are having sex out here. So we're not fucking all the same men. I ain't never seen a man been in the city for 20 years, a certain city for 20, a certain city for 20. I ain't never ran across a person that I knew. I just don't get that logic. I understand it, but Bum Keisha is doing that kind of shit.
Which is a man that fucks 30 women, and because all the women like the same man, he's the one giving STDs to all these women. So what are y'all talking about?
Regular, everyday, average dudes getting sex just like every other guy. They may get sex once or twice a year, but they getting sex too. And women are not fucking 3, 4, 5 different guys in a year. Women just don't do that. They try to get into relationships and deal with one man. They try not to deal unless she just an absolute hoe. Most women are not whores.
Is that a lie? Is that a lie?
Fatty, I need you to be consistent.
Hold on.
Fatty, I need you to be
consistent.
Shannon. Fatty, you got to be consistent. Hold on, Ollie. 5 seconds. 5 seconds. I need you. And then I'm gonna shut up. I need you to be consistent, brother. I love it.
Yeah, y'all get off them talking points. You got to get out and touch some grass for real. Cause I ain't no unicorn female. I ain't no unicorn female. There's plenty of women that come in this chat and ain't never did none of this stuff, but yet and still y'all swear by women. All women are like that. There's plenty of women in this chat that ain't never did half of the things y'all say they did. So how do you explain us? We ain't no freaks of nature. There's a lot of women like us.
Intellectual conversation, but this is turning into haywire. Bro, married women are getting a disease from their husband because he's cheating. It has nothing. You talking about the same. She can be married, but the guy is going outside of the marriage, bringing something into the marriage. It doesn't mean that women don't cheat. I'm not saying that because I know y'all gonna pull it. I know y'all gonna pull it.
No, prove it. What is this? What is this? What is this study where married men? No, prove it. Well, no.
What?
No, 1 second. Right now, there's 4 people. I'll leave.
Hold on. What talking point do I have, HQ? I mean, what talking point do I have to healism? What talking point do I consistently come up on? I'd like to know. What talking point do I got?
Second, please, I got you.
What's
right
not
now,
true?
there's
What's
two.
The
Right now,
women get the most.
No, I didn't say everyone was celibate. I don't have no talking point that says they're celibate. I ain't never said that.
TDs, that's not true.
No, Ali. Right now, there's 4 people in this panel. 2 people can be talking, and then the other 2 people can be going and seeing what this prove it that most people with STDs are married men. Prove it.
Once a person normally once you're young and you burn that shit off and you hit 25, you don't be out there like that. You don't be out there like I don't have talking points. I say general words, and the general words are normally true. Generally, most people are just normal, everyday, average people. That's not a talking point. That's true. Most people are average. Most people are regular, ordinary people. Most people don't have 1,000 bodies. Most people may have an average of 5 bodies. Those are talking points. And then, okay, then those are talking points. Well, how do you know that, Tahilism? How do you know that? You don't know that. That's my whole point. I didn't say that either. What I said was once the oil burns off, most people are not out here fucking like that.
That's not
I didn't say that.
You said that.
No, you said
I didn't even say that.
I
never said that. I said they bring the disease in. I didn't say that they.
Y'all got to be able to distinguish between the talking points y'all hear online and reality. Reality. Ask somebody in your life. Are you a hoe? Ask somebody in your life. If they just fucking on the first. Ask somebody in your life. Because all I only hear this shit online. Yeah, I say most people out here ain't fucking like that. They got jobs. They in relationships. They got people they going out with. They doing things like that. Not every person is out here fucking like that. People fucking, but they not fucking like that. Y'all make it sound like she fucking every day. Y'all make it sound like she fucking 3, 4, 5 people every day. That's not what people are doing.
The ones that they be, right?
Y'all realize. Let's hold on. No, Shannon said they're having sex with the married women. Public offender. You said that married women are getting the most STDs. That's what you said.
No, I didn't.
You keep saying hold on, public offender. Hold on, public offender. Hold on. Okay, hold on. Let's hold on.
Oh, you mean so men and women are fucking like that? So everybody is fucking like that. I could take you around 5, 6 random people that I don't even know, and they won't be fucking like that. So I'm saying you need to, just because people tell you this shit, if you ain't fucking like that, then that means other people ain't fucking. How you fucking? You fucking every day? Y'all fucking 3, 4, 5 different people every day, every week? If you doing it, then I'll believe you. But if you ain't doing it, I don't believe you. And most people ain't doing it. Yeah, right. Oh, no. I'm saying if you fucking like that, you fucking 3, 4, 5 different chicks a week, then I'll believe you. But if you're not, then I don't believe you. Most people are not doing that. And you a regular, everyday average dude, above average dude. You ain't fucking like that. So how is it that they fucking like that? No, because our test subject is Ty Pro. Ty Pro said they fucking every week. They fucking every day. If Ty Pro ain't fucking every day, 3, 4, 5 different chicks a week, then I don't believe you. Because he's single and ready to mingle. So if you tell me that you doing it because you single and you ain't got no woman and blah, 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 then I believe you. Then I believe you. But if y'all ain't doing it, don't say y'all doing it, because then you hearing that shit on the internet. I'm fucking like that first day broad daylight. Oh, okay, you doing that 3, 4, 5 times a week? Come on now.
This is what we need to do, right? Everybody's calling this out, right? We're moving so fast with the points. Then when we ask somebody if they're saying it, they're saying they're not saying it, okay? So we're doing all this, keep changing the topic, right? We went from promiscuous to baby making and to no baby making, right? The main point that we're trying to make is this, okay? Married women want to get married with good men and leaders, right? But what Fatty's addressing, let me.
Oh, I thought you were asking the question. My bad.
Okay, see what I'm saying? So women don't want to get married to good men and good leaders?
No, women. I've never heard a woman ask for a fucking leader. A good man, yeah. A leader, absolutely not.
So
y'all are out.
It wasn't true.
Y'all are out of your goddamn motherfucking mind.
No, I'm saying you got time to do it now. I'm saying you doing that shit now. You last week you knocked over 3, 4 chicks. Then this week you knocked over 3, 4 chicks, right? Because you the single person, you the only single person I know that's online that ain't. I'm just trying to figure. Are you the single person? Are you knocking chicks off 3, 4 chicks a week? No, I'm asking you. Last week you knocked off 3, 4 different chicks. Then this week you knocked off 3, 4 different chicks, because then you would be fucking like that. Okay, then you'd be fucking like that. But if you ain't fucking like that, and regular everybody else is average Joe Blow, then they damn sure ain't fucking like that.
A study analyzing emergency department data from the United States found that single individuals, both men and women, were significantly more likely to test positive for gonorrhea and chlamydia than their married counterparts. Now, and I can go actually lower, and there's more studies. So, where do you guys find this shit?
Y'all just talking to be talking, because you don't know nobody knocking people back like that. Y'all just think people knocking people back like that. I ain't seen none of y'all yet. None of y'all yet come up with how you can prove that they fucking like y'all say they fucking. Can't nobody prove that. Can't nobody prove that. I mean, that's why you got to get off the internet, because sometimes people come up with goofy things and can't nobody prove it. You can't prove none of this stuff. And fucking, why are we in the discussion about sex? I told you that has nothing to do with loyalty, kindness, respect, or being a good partner. None of those things. No, I talk to people every day about these things. I talk to people every day. They ain't fucking like that. They ain't fucking like that. You ain't fucking like that, and you know whether you fucking like that. If you ain't fucking like that, other people ain't fucking like that. And I refuse. I know you're not fucking like that, because it don't work like that.
This is so boring, because again,
where do you find it?
This is what I'm saying in real time. So you don't read studies, you do cursory Google searches and read AI founded information.
Okay, so show yours.
Hold on, brother. I gotta explain. I'm not about to stop the line to do that.
You can't.
Hold on. You guys are not understanding. You can't read a study in real time on a live. You're gonna have to stop the whole live to read the study. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So stop doing stupid ass Google cursory searches to make a point. Listen to what I'm saying. Again,
I agree with you.
Hold on. Slowly.
I agree.
Nope. Listen to what I'm saying. Again, the rate The rate,
right?
Not the overall number, not the most, like the rate, the largest demo. So meaning, I don't know if you guys know how rates work, right? So if last year.
Thank you, Erica's Corner, $2. Thank you, supporting the show. Thank you, ma'am. Yes, Cash Apps would be lovely. That'd be amazing. If we had Cash Apps, we did any of those things. Who was the second person? Repink, $1.99. Hit the like button. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's a Friday night. Y'all should be out enjoying the weather, loving each other, doing your thing, right? Watching the shit. We should be doing all those things. But I had this programmed in that I was going to do this. I appreciate the support. I appreciate y'all being here. But I appreciate it. I do.
5 women who were married tested positive for an.
All I'm saying is all of this stuff is subjective. Nobody knows who's sleeping with who and what, when, and where. People say a lot of shit, but you never know. People say, because I'm saying to me, in the poly world, this is a one-on-one thing. We would rather work through your trauma. Yes, sir. I love it. Y'all wild.
For an STD, right? Then the next year, 25 women tested positive for an STD. That means the rate is 5.
You gonna do it just for me? Tide Pro. It ain't nothing like the scissor thing. That's all I'm gonna say. The scissor thing.
I went up 500%. Oh my God, right? Like that's crazy. That's what I'm talking about. The fastest growing demographic is women who are married. So you need to look at the right shit. You don't even understand what
oh shoot. You said you was knocking them back. Tide Pro. 4 and what? Is 4 in one day? What?
Hold on. Y'all.
Who doing 4 in a day? Don't your dick hurt once you do? Don't that? I mean,
it's gonna be it becomes a deflection topic, especially when I actually public. Let me finish, brother. Especially when we're talking about why men and women are getting together, we move it on to somewhere else. Men and women are giving each other STDs. Men and women are both disrespecting each other. Men and women are both doing some trifle things towards each other, right? We're not going to be gender specific. But the main thing that we can get to the core of what's happening in society is if women are asking for good men and good leaders, a woman will let me sleep with her before we get married. A woman would.
But that don't make her a bad woman. That don't make her a bad woman. Just because she sleep with you before you make her your woman. That don't make her a bad woman. That don't make her no bad woman. Because the whole point is how you feel about that person. You're attracted to that person, then you want to sleep with her, but then you don't want to be involved with her. You don't want to get beyond whatever. Then decide in your mind as a man that you're not going to sleep with a woman. Decide that you're not going to sleep with a woman until you get to know her. Maybe that might be the thing. If you decide that you're going to get to know her first before you sleep with her. And I'm going to still go back to the 4 things I said: loyalty, kindness, respect, and whether she going to be a good partner, he going to be a good partner. None of that is determined by my sexual history unless I'm a prostitute or somebody like that, or a great victim or something like that. That's not going to determine my heart or where my head is. Okay.
Will try to change me while she asks me to love her for who she is. A woman will call a good guy a sucker. A woman will try to control me when she says she wants a leader. A woman will let me hit for free while she entertaining and using men she don't like. A woman will tell me she's loyal, and as soon as she doesn't get her.
I know you catching and you judging. If she throws a coochie, that's correct. You catching and you judging. But the next man may not judge, may not get thrown the cooch, or he may get thrown, but he may not judge. I would rather have me a person that's going to be a good partner, loyalty, respect, than to worry about this. I'm not saying it's important. Apparently it's important. I don't know how it could be important because people don't tell the truth about it. I don't understand how it could be important, but apparently it's important nonetheless. I'm just saying that doesn't determine none of these things. And I'd rather have a good partner. I'd rather have a good person on my side, a loyal person, a respectful person on my side, than to worry about, oh, she gives me all of these qualities. She has all the things I want, except she got 7 bodies. Now I'm worried about her damn bodies. Even though she does all of these things. Of course, I understand. I get it. I get it. I'm just saying, y'all don't want to talk yourself out of good women sometimes. Men can talk themselves out of good women, and women can talk themselves out of good men. Y'all got to get out of each other's way.
The way, or her feelings are messed up, she compromises our loving relationship. A woman, and a lot of brothers will literally say men need to practice D-discipline. So why do you have to put your D away if she having kids out of wedlock? Shannon said he don't matter.
No, that's not true. Because people could be attracted to people. People could be attracted to people. Most people. What's restraint? I don't understand what you mean. Restraint. I'm dating you for a month and then we have sex. So now I'm not a good woman because I had sex with you a month in. Or I'm not a good woman if I have sex on the first date. I can understand that. You can make that argument. But you can't make the argument that I'm not a good woman if I wait a month before we have sex. Come on now. Come on now. Come on now. Come on. Come on down.
He don't care what a woman body count is. He don't care about her past. But Shannon and public offender, if I can milk the cow for free, why I'm going to buy it and then complain that men don't want to buy milk? If women are having sex out of wedlock, still in today's society,
y'all are not marrying women, so it ain't a matter of keeping marrying women that have sex or whatever. That don't matter. You're not marrying the good women. You're not marrying the good women. That's what I'm saying. So what difference does it make? You're not marrying the good women. Come on. Y'all not marrying the good women either. Cause I have presented good women that came off of Kendra G. I have presented women that looked on paper to be good, and y'all say, "Oh, she too ugly," or she gotta have 3 or 4. She said she ain't had sex in 5 years. No, she lying. Y'all not marrying the good ones neither.
Society, and we talk about traditional men and traditional women, and y'all are promoting it. It's okay. Public don't care about a body count. Shannon don't care about a body count. Then what? Why would a man marry a woman, put a ring on her finger, take care of her for life, if he can have sex with her without having to do that?
Because
can you
you gonna let me answer the question?
Hold on, because you're moving fast. Why
ain't an ugly woman a good woman? Why ain't an ugly woman a good woman? Yo, why?
Would a man put a ring on a woman's finger?
Yeah.
And marry her if he can get everything for free?
I'll tell you why. Easy answer.
Okay.
If you think that woman is a human being, then you're going to treat her like a human being, no matter how many men she slept with.
Please stop.
You interrupt me. You want me to answer the question?
No, I'm not. I'm in it public. We can interject. When you interject, I'll let you interject. Right? I didn't ask.
No. Oh shit.
Nothing about brother. Nobody says she's not a human being. Please don't. No, brother. Brother, please. I asked you, please. Right?
You're dehumanizing her by relegating.
No, I'm not. I'm not.
You don't want me to answer the question. Obviously, you want me. No, you can't control the answer.
I'm not trying to control. So hold on.
No, you don't have to be dazed and confused. I just have a different philosophy than you. I just have a different philosophy. That's all. It has nothing to do with dazed and confused. You think women are hoes because they sleep with people. I don't. There's nothing confusing about what I think. You think a woman should reveal her body count. So do I, if she wants to. There's nothing confusing about what I think. I just have a different philosophy in approaching relationships. I just approach them differently. I mean, I can say I'm successful at it. You could be successful at it the way you do it. I'm just saying I'm successful at the way I do it. Okay? We just approach it differently. That's all. I don't believe sexual proclivities or anything else is the precursor to a good relationship. Okay? I'm saying you got to treat me kindly. You got to be respectful. You got to be loyal, and you got to be a good partner. Okay? I don't worry about whether a man has a body count or not. Who cares whether he has a body count? It's a different story if you got 1,000 bodies. But I'm not gonna worry about him. I'm not gonna worry about a human being that may have 10 bodies or 5 bodies. You worry about those things. I worry about character. I worry about respect. I worry about being a good partner. There's nothing confusing about what I think. That's what I think. That doesn't make me having a high body count doesn't make me a bad person. That's the whole bottom line of it. I don't think you're a bad person, but you do. So we're never going to agree, but there's nothing confusing about what I think. I've never hid that from anybody. Every person that has ever asked me, I have said body count does not determine whether you're going to be a good person or good partner, respectful, loyal, or anything else. That doesn't determine that. And people are not going to tell you their body count because they just don't want to. I would never tell you my body count because it doesn't make a difference whether I tell you or not. I'm still a good person. You all seem to think otherwise. I can't help it what you think. I'm just saying.
Sir, should a woman... Oh, go ahead.
Brother,
Public. You know what? I'm gonna let you now. Look, I'm gonna let you interject. I'm gonna show you the respect and let you interject. But you didn't let me interject.
Interjecting. I was literally answering the question you asked.
Right. I didn't ask about Shannon and you. Hold on. Before we started talking, right? You and both brother Shannon asked to not conflate things. Just like you shouldn't conflate a bad woman with most women, a bad man with most men.
You just did.
I didn't. No, let me finish. No, I didn't. No, I did not. I asked you.
You did. That's all you've been doing. You keep saying a woman. So are we talking about a woman or are we talking about women in general?
Right. No, I didn't ask you about her humanity.
Listen, hold on, brother. Listen, 2 things. A, that is literally what you just did.
I did not.
I had a dude tell me a couple weeks ago. He said, I like freaky women. I love everything about them. I just can't let them be my baby mama because I don't know how they would raise kids. But I show wife her and all that other shit, but I ain't gonna get no baby by her. So all of that, yeah, they wild.
On this long tangent, and I was listening because I was waiting for you.
Did I say
hold on,
Bro.
Ali, you kept saying a woman will do this. A woman, you're right.
But that's in general. But that's
a woman in the world that will do that.
Public defender, can you stop, please? Because you're speaking for me. No, public defender, look how respectful I'm trying to be towards you. You're speaking for me. No. You choosing and picking what I'm saying. I didn't make it.
No, that's not what are you saying then, freak? Be straight up. I was just straight up with you. I just said body count doesn't matter to me. You all think body count is important. Body count doesn't determine whether you're a good partner. You can be kind, you can be respectful, you can be loyal. None of that is determined by the fact that I could be a hoe, according to you, or have 5 bodies or 7 bodies. There's nothing surprising or hidden that I'm saying. I've always said this from day one. That doesn't make you a thing. I'm not saying making it personal. I'm just saying people are on here. The argument that Fatty and Ali is having is that you cannot have a high body count and be a good person. Yes, you can. You can be you. That doesn't be having a high body count doesn't say that you won't be loyal, you won't be kind, you won't be respectful. And you cannot verify body count. That's right. You cannot verify body count anyway. So why worry about that when you are trying to determine a good partner? That's all I'm saying. You're looking for a person that can be kind, loyal, respectful, and a good partner. That's what you're looking for. Okay. And you said, oh, you guys are confused. What are you confused about? I have always said that one fact. Body count don't determine how good of a person you are. And everybody is looking for a good person. Everybody wants a respect, loyal, kind, good partner. Everybody wants those 4 things. Ain't no body count nowhere near that. Right. I wouldn't marry a man with 35 bodies, but if he was a decent human being, he was respectful, treated me with kindness, I would consider it. I wouldn't just throw him right out the door. I don't even know how many bodies Fee had. I don't even know how many bodies that man had. Okay. 34 and a half. Are you kidding me?
About just a woman. When I said a woman,
you ain't stated your philosophy, freak. You ain't stated your philosophy. I stated mine 4 times. What part of you don't understand what I said? I'm asking you what you mean. What's confusing about what I said?
It's generalizing. That's what most men can. Let me finish. Most men can get sex from women before marrying with them. Yes. Most men could get a woman in bed and submit in the bedroom, can't get her submit out the bedroom. Most men will.
You can't get a one. That's not how that works.
Meet women who say they want good leaders, and as soon as he gives her a direction, she's out the door. She'll fight back. She doesn't want to listen. She don't want redirection. She don't want correction.
You can't give people correction. People are adults.
So again, if the premise is women want good men and good leaders, and then you said they don't want a leader, I'm not sure what Shannon's saying.
They are. Everybody has a standard for what they want. Everybody has their standard. Your standard, just for example, your standard might be if she has 5 bodies, that's too high. My standard might be if they got 10 bodies, too high. Everybody can have their standard. All I'm saying is the person that you want might be between that 5 and that 10 bodies. And you've already dismissed that person without knowing whether they're going to be kind, respectful, loyal, or good partner. Because they got 5 bodies. Oh, she got 6. I can't look at her. All I'm saying is I'm not looking. Body count is not going to make my determination about a person. I'm saying body count shouldn't make people's determination about it shouldn't be your deciding factor right off the bat before you get to know people. That's what I'm saying. It works for me. And I was successful at it. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you're doing. That's not a determining factor for me. I'm not saying it's not important. I'm saying it's not going to determine whether I find whether the person is good, loyal, or respectful or kind. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying what you're doing, if what you're doing is working, keep doing it. If you have found the woman that you want, you have found if you have found all of these things and you have found the woman and the man that you want by those standards that you have, then great. Keep at it. Keep doing what you're doing. But if you have not found the person that you're looking for with the standards that you have, then you need to change your standards to ones that will garner you the results that you want. So my question, my whole thing is, if I walk into a room and my standard is 5 bodies, and none of them should have over 5 bodies, and I walk into a room and all of the men in there have 10 bodies, all of the men in there have 7 bodies, and those are the only men that are in my vicinity, those are the only men that I have an opportunity to talk to, but they all have more than 5 bodies, that means I have to adjust my standard to say, well, damn, these are the only ones I'm going to deal with right now. X, Y, and Z. Unless you determine to go somewhere else and find whatever you're going to find. Because if it works for you, let it work for you. I'm saying that's not my determination. That's not my criteria. Is to worry about body count. My criteria is to find a good person, a respectful person, a loyal person. And then I deal with everything else behind that. That's all I'm saying.
What is the incentive? What is the incentive for a man to get married to today's women? And then y'all complaining about men not being no good men when they're overlooking good men and calling them suckers and weak, but they want to deal with the men who liars, cheaters, and so-called abusers.
Again. The reason why men will sleep with a woman, but then won't treat her like a person, meaning not put a ring on it or whatever, right? And he devalues her based on the men that she has slept with prior to him, is because he doesn't see her as a human being. So when you say, I didn't ask you about that, it's because you don't understand what misogyny is. That is very misogynistic. Hold on, Ali. You just went on another tangent, another soliloquy. Yes, you went on another tangent.
I'm about to call you. Okay, go ahead. I'm gonna let you finish.
So again, that is the reason why you just.
I'm not saying y'all make it say. I'm not saying that there's not people out there hoeing. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is people not getting sex like that. People are not getting sex like that. People are not having sex every day. Normal everyday women are not going out there having sex like that. They got a job, they going here, they doing there, they doing all these people, they're not having sex like that. 3, 4, 5 different dudes in a week. Okay. I don't know what the question is. Shit. I answered my question. We want to talk about wigs now.
Called women cows. You just called them cows. You literally just referred to them as less than a human. You just did that in real time. That is why men don't value these women, because they don't value any woman. They don't value any woman. You see women as a means to an end. You don't see them as autonomous human beings. That is why.
No, it's not that women don't have sex. It's not that people are not having sex. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is people are not having sex with 3, 4, 5 different people a week. One person a year is not a lot of people. One person a year is not a lot. Y'all making it sound like, oh, they out here fucking 3, 4, 5 different guys every week. I don't think people are out here fucking like that. I think they randomly fuck. I don't think they fucking like that.
Y'all be up here talking about high body.
Ain't nobody proved me wrong. Everybody believe that the chicks on the internet, oh, she's so hot, she must be getting sex. And then Ty Pro said he done had to cool his dick off, so we can't take him as the truth either. Seeing as how he said he got to cool his meat off. So somebody show me a person is fucking 2, 3 people a week, and how did that happen? I ain't seen one person come up here and say they fucking 2 or 3 people a week. Not one person walked up here. So yet and still, everybody is so solidly believing that people fucking 3, 4, 5 different people a month. Okay. Yeah, STD rates are the way they are because people don't go to the doctor. And people just be having sex.
Counts and all this weird shit.
Even I heard that people ain't using protection. They just having sex. Okay. I'm not saying they not doing that. I just ain't seen no proof. Ain't nobody seen no proof. I ain't seen no proof of it. Are they fucking like that? I ain't seen no proof.
You talking to two, listen to what I'm saying. The 2 married men, we don't give a fuck. We both married, so I don't care what the body count of a woman is. The 2 single niggas up here talking about body count, body count, body count. I'm sorry. The 2 non-married men. The 2 non-married men are up here talking about body count, body count, body count. Obesity, obesity, obesity. The 2 married men are like, no, we respect women. They are human beings. Let's treat them as human beings. You're not seeing a connection there? Hold on.
Shannon, he asked me. So this is where y'all do the contradictions. This is what I'm talking about.
Okay.
So if a woman has sex with me, but she won't marry me, is she dehumanizing me and objectifying me into sex? That's one. 2, if a married woman, I don't know why y'all going there. Again.
Y'all laughing illegally flipping on. He's flipping what you said. Y'all literally said that.
Wait, hold on. Let me
crazy.
No. That was my last one. Y'all
my bad.
If you're non-married, you don't have no value, right?
Wait a minute, hold on. 1 person a year is disgusting? What do you mean? What does that mean? My whole story? I'm not liking, you said 1 person a year is disgusting. No, it's not. Because you don't know the rate in which they're having sex. You don't know anything about them having sex. 1 year. What do you mean that's disgusting? Oh, God.
Because what you're doing is saying, since me and Fatty are unmarried men and we're speaking about this, that means the majority of women that follow y'all that are single and unmarried, they have no value if we don't have no value.
They shouldn't be giving no opinions. right?
No,
Well,
what I'm
wait,
saying.
hold on. I want to tackle this real
Can
quick.
you address address
I'm gonna address
the first one.
address the first one. If I had sex with her, but I won't marry her, I'm not treating her like a human. So if she has sex with me, let me finish. If she has sex with me and doesn't marry me, she's not treating me like a human too, right?
Well, I'm gonna just say this. Who controls marriage?
I didn't ask that.
No, answer the
Who controls
question.
marriage?
No.
Answer the
So,
question.
Let's be honest about it. Let me answer the question, bro.
Hey, brother, please answer the
I
question.
gotta go by what's realistic.
What he's saying is, are you willing to marry her after you have sex with her? Are you willing to marry her? You saying that I don't treat her like a human being if I just have sex with her and leave. Okay, are you willing to marry the woman? Most men are not willing to marry women right after they having sex with them a couple weeks. Maybe women should start insisting on that. I don't know. I don't know how this will be turned around. I don't understand any of this. How do people be having sex without condoms? How does one do that? What?
Hold on, Shannon. No, let's
propose.
No, Shannon, let's be realistic, man.
Go ahead.
What Fatty brought up, that's why he brought up the topic earlier.
Gotcha.
Women are in their fun phase and their whole phase and living their best life phase till they're 29.
Yeah.
They don't want to get married early.
Gotcha.
They want to get married later. So public says I should marry her and treat her like a human. But if they don't want to get married at that age, and a man might want to get married at that age or want to put a ring on her finger, she doesn't want to. She doesn't look at him as a human, right?
What percentage? Where is that happening at?
No.
I don't know.
See, now Ali is being disingenuous. Ain't no man dealing with no woman and they dealing with each other for 2 years, 3 years, and he asked her to marry and she turned his ass down. That very rarely happens, and the only way that happens is because she doesn't feel like you can be her protector or her leader, or she don't feel safe enough to marry you. Most women who've been in a relationship with men at least 2 or 3 years, and they steady dealing with each other, 9 times out of 10 she gonna want to marry you, but that's not normally how it happens. Okay.
Where does it happen?
So Ali is being disingenuous. Oh, well, I'm dealing with her at and then I want to marry her. She turned me down. Most women ain't gonna turn you down. If you dealing with her, you've been dealing with her for 2 or 3 years. She ain't gonna turn you down. It's very rare that happen.
Happening that.
I know.
Hold on. Wait 1 second. The reason. Hold on. Give me 1 second. You've been talking. I have not said nothing. The reason I'm so confused. I'm gonna let you talk. I promise. The reason I'm so.
How you? What 10 men are you? What 10 men are you talking to, sir? What 10 men are gonna tell you they had your woman? Unless y'all at a party somewhere. You at a party and all them 10 men said, I had your woman. Now, the likelihood of you running into 10 people that slept with your woman is practically nil. So you have to give me a logical argument. That's not a logical argument. 9 times out of 10, you'll probably never meet anybody except 1 or 2 of them.
Confused is because I don't think you heard nothing what public said. Wait 1 second. Let me explain. If a woman has a 9-person body count, and you ask why would a person marry a woman when he can get everything from her without marrying her? You don't get everything because you don't get a marriage. All right. If I see, hold on 1 second. If I want to marry that woman and I'm not judging her by the things she did in the past with another man, right? I married her because I wanted to, and I saw the value in that woman. Right. She had something I wanted. Her whole human being was not equated to who she was fucking. That's the problem. And Ali, now I'm gonna ask this one question. And are you fucking right now?
So are we saying it boils down to the fact that who she having sex with is that it's that major that determines? I don't even understand how to put that question. Hey, Zeus. Zeus, right?
Yes. This is Zeus. How you doing, beautiful? Happy Friday to you.
Happy Friday. It's one of those days.
I can tell you coming in with 110 watt voltage. I like it.
I'm not. It's just this debate is wild. It's just so many opposing views in this, Some of the things I get along with, some of them. I'm considered that they consider white red pill, and the other guys is considered what? Blue pill?
Yeah, I don't. I'm just listening. Go ahead.
Okay. I don't know. Somebody said
Now?
female.
Well, I disagree.
Yes.
I just disagree with
Why would you
everything they're
marry her?
saying.
Are you going to marry her?
What do you disagree with?
I mean, they getting tripped up on little things because the guy said, you know, why would you buy the cow when you can get the milk for free? And then the guy said, you're calling women cows. Like he missed the whole point because we're being literal. And that's not the point of what we're saying.
Yeah,
that's just that's how people are on the internet. I get it.
I get that. But I mean, I get what he said. Why buy why if you can get the milk for, you're not but I don't know how to defend something like that because I don't understand that. That's the whole point. He's saying you don't treat women, you're not treating women as human because well, I mean, maybe that. See, Dana, I don't think they have these kind of discussions. I don't know. Do they have these kind of discussions in the white YouTube street? Because I ain't never heard it.
I do. I see them. I'm in them. I'm in those groups. I'm in all the groups.
And then they say, I'm not marrying her. I'm not marrying a woman.
Hey, why are you yelling? Why are you yelling? Oh my God. Why are you yelling?
Because I'm up at how am I yelling? I'm right at the microphone.
Holy blackness. Go ahead.
I'm saying how is this a thing? And when everybody knows, when objectively you can't tell the difference between one body and 6 bodies. Why is this a thing?
Okay, are you asking me or are you just
talking? I'm asking you. Why is it a thing when you can't tell the difference between one body and 7 bodies?
Okay, I'm gonna explain 3 things to you. The wigs, cooking, and sex. When we ask you about those things, we're not asking you about those things. When somebody asks you about your body count, the first thing all women say on the dating show is they want a man who tells the truth and be transparent. That's all that question is about. It's not about your sexual history. It's, will you tell me? Will you be transparent so we can start from the start? That's what that's about, in my view. Here's something you asked me about other groups. This is the only group where I hear all this craziness on. And poly, you expected to tell that. That's you expected to do that. You also expect to advocate for yourself. You also expected to have a why you do whatever you do. That's accountability. So when I hear people giving pushback on this, I'm just astounded. That's why I say it's not about what we think it's about. In my head, if you're not going to tell me something that you did, you're not going to tell me something that you did. So how can I be on your team if you're not telling me what's on your team? That's what I was saying in the group. I don't care about what most people do. I'm saying my requirement is I want to be as transparent as possible, even when it's not comfortable. That's what I'm saying. With that said, I'm in.
So with that being said, most people ain't going to tell you your body count, man nor woman. Seeing as how that, he said, why buy the
That's car? A lie. That's a lie. Because I'm in a group. And we do not go back and forth on these conversations. We do not go back and forth on testing. We do not go back on sharing results.
Yeah, but
we also don't go back on
different. That's way different.
But I'm sure. Okay, you just said something, and I'm just sharing with you. That's all. I'm just sharing with you. You asked my side. I'm sharing with you. Now you shutting it down. Now you shut it down. Bring the lamp back. Bring the lamp back. Bring the lamp back.
What I'm saying is, it's paramount in a group like yours, in a poly group, in order for that honesty to be right there. In a regular, ordinary, just a man or woman, most people are not even going to ask that question. They're going to assume a lot of it. But this is something that is probably standard in your arrangement that you would know or you would ask and somebody would tell you, right or wrong.
I'm just telling you, as long as I've been around, I didn't know this was an abrasive question. That doesn't mean you're wrong. And I've never heard anybody navigate it saying, well, nobody's going to tell you the truth. Wait a minute. Why would we start off on a lie? And to me, whoever I've been with or how many ever people I've been with, and I'm sorry, let me go back to something that I said in the chat. I had a female friend. She has sex like people shake hands. You know how you see somebody and you go, hey, how you doing? You introduce yourself. That's how simple she has sex. So what ends up happening in business, in community, you start bumping into a lot of people, and then you notice the energy gets weird. And you don't know why. But when you're on the outside, you don't know why. But on the inside, you like, did y'all? She's like, yeah, it was a bad story. And blah, blah. It's always some drama built around that. That's more of what people don't want to bump into, I think, is the fear. I couldn't be 100%, but also I've just always been like, I've been very transparent about that since I was a little kid. So I expect other people. I didn't know it was a big deal till I came here. Apparently, I'm glad to be here.
Hey, it's a big deal. I didn't think it was a big deal. I didn't know people was even asking that question. Victor Marini, I have to see you because I haven't seen that name before. Pop up. Let's see who you are. I have to see a picture before you can get on my stage. Okay. Hello.
It's me. It's Family of God HQ. I'm just using my phone.
now that you look popped up, I can tell. Okay, I can tell.
Yeah, I'm using my phone, my car. I'm just jumping in before I go to work. If you allow me, let me just say this: the body counts, and Zeus hit it right on the head. We don't, man. I don't think they care so much about the number. They care about her being honest with her past. Right. And so when men are interested in the body count, it's like this. It's like this. You have a business, you look at a resume, and if the resume says that every 3 months this person got a job and got fired, I mean, are you gonna hire this person? Right? You're not going to hire because you're looking at the resume and you're like, hey, man, what's going on? Every 3 months you get a job, you get fired. You don't last more than 6 or a year. So you're not going to hire. Without the resume, how are you going to know that he's been fired every 3 months? Right? You won't know. So that's what I think. Maybe Zeus can correct me. I think, man, that's what they're looking for. What is your resume? It's not that the body count matters because, I mean, if the relationship works, it works. If you guys fall in love, you fall in love. But hold on, HQ. But there's trauma. We also have to think about there's trauma that comes with all of those body counts that she's been with. So that's what we're trying to figure out. How, in a sense, how messed up are you for me to go into this relationship? So, Zeus, correct me if I'm wrong, or HQ, what do you think?
No, what I was going to say is, I understand the wanting to know what, when, and how. I get that you want to know what, when, and how. But if I got into a relationship with you, I'm saying, this is what I'm saying. I'm not saying body count. You just dismiss body count. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, what's the difference between a woman who has 3 and a woman who has 6? Specifically, if that woman who has 6 can be loyal, respectful, keep her mouth shut, care about you, and she makes a good partner. But yet you come along and you say, oh, she got more than 5 bodies. I can't deal with her. But she's the one that's loyal, respectful, kind, and can be the good partner. So how do you make the distinction? I'm saying you can't make that distinction because she's the better partner regardless of her body count. So when you ask her, she got 6. Now you got to deal with that 6 knowing she's the better option than the one who has 3. You know she's the better option, but now you just found out she got 6. Are you going to throw her away because she got 6? Even though she's the one who's kind, respectful, loyal and the good and the better partner?
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, HQ, but at the same time, it's about, I think, in my view, it's about trauma. Come
Mm-hmm.
on, you know that, and Fatty talked about this before. You
Mm-hmm.
know that a lady that's been around and she's got 30 to 35, 40 body count in her lifetime. She's experienced some trauma in between there. You can't say that she didn't. That some guy grabbed her wrong in the wrong way or did it the wrong way. There's trauma.
Yeah,
So
but we have to.
the difference between the 5 and the 20, let's say 20,
Mhm.
the 5 and the 20 is that, first of all, the 5 shows more discipline with her body, where the 20, she's more open with her body and the trauma that comes with it. So we want to know, like, where are you in this mindset? Okay, you want this, you want to make this work, you want this relationship to work, you want to, maybe you're talking about marriage, but
Yeah, but
it's important for me to know.
but we gotta stick. We gotta stick with the. We gotta stick with the. We gotta stick with the 3 and the 5. I mean 3 and the 6 because you. I'm
I
trying to
agree
make.
with you on that. I agree with you on that.
I'm trying.
If your body, if your highest body, if your standard is more than 3, I'm not taking it. And then you find some girl that's amazing and she's got 6. I'm with you. I'm with you. Like, you're gonna throw that away but I don't think that's what we're talking about. I don't think so.
Yeah,
I
but
don't think that's what they're talking about.
most women, I don't think, unless she's a prostitute, unless she's hoeing like every day, all day, I don't think she has that many bodies. I'm not gonna throw you away. No,
Maybe not like you put it, HQ, because you said, are they having sex like every, like 5 times a week? Maybe
yeah,
not a week, maybe once a month.
but what if she's 30? What if
HQ,
she's 40?
HQ.
What if she's 40?
HQ, HQ, I gotta run. I gotta go back to work.
Oh,
Love you guys, and
thank you.
I'll see you. I'll be listening.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
You
Okay,
never heard
all right.
you never heard the term
Yeah,
hookup
no, hold on.
culture?
Hold on, Mr. G. I have to see you before you can be on camera, sir. I don't know who you are. Okay.
Somebody trying to show you something, HQ.
I don't, man, look.
Ha, ha, ha.
Whoa,
What?
whoa, whoa. You ain't got no clothes on.
See? Yeah,
Wait a
don't
minute.
listen.
Where your shirt at? I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, somebody on some bullshit. Get them out of here.
Can you hear me, Mr. G? Can you speak?
And he look like a tether. Don't trust him.
He didn't have a shirt on. I'm like, why he standing there without no shirt? Put a shirt on and then come back, sir, please and thank you. Ty, please. Homie was naked. I was like, oh hell no, you better not pull nothing out on me. I had that happen. Remember when I first came in, I had that happen.
Yeah, I remember. I remember back in them days. Yeah, I remember. You. It
So
seemed
tell me
like.
what's up, Ty. What's going on?
All right. So you ever heard the phrase hookup culture?
Yes.
So what do hookup culture mean?
That mean I ain't doing no peep shows practically, right? I ain't doing that now. Shoot, no. Hookup culture means I don't whatever attraction I feel, I act on that attraction. That's what that means to me. Yes.
So the last, let's just say 10 years is we've been in like the hookup culture era, probably longer than 10 years, but just to say 10 and 3 a.m. just hit it on the head. Dating apps and hookup culture go hand in hand. Nobody is going on dating apps looking for long-term commitment. They going on dating apps to get something popping quickly. Like,
So
you know,
how so how are people getting in relationships? Or they just not getting in relationships? Or people just gave up on relationships?
so with the term hookup culture, you also hear another term, situationship. right?
Okay.
And
That's
that's
like I'm
situationships is
everybody
si-
else.
situationship is say me and you link, we don't know each other, we meet on a dating app, we go out for a date, the
Mm-hmm.
vibes is kicking,
Mm-hmm.
we fuck,
Mm-hmm.
but we liked it, and we like each other enough to do it again and
Okay.
again and again and again. So the situationship develops from having casual sex more and more and more,
Okay.
like
Okay.
consistent casual sex. Now we might go catch a movie, go out to eat, but we developed this whole structure around having sex. It wasn't like it's like the reverse of dating. Like instead of getting to know somebody during dating and then having sex, you have sex and then you start getting to know them.
So
Not
why
that's what.
wouldn't you get to know this person that you like having sex with, and now you may hook up and go to a movie and blah blah blah? Why wouldn't you get to know that person now? Why would it just be like I ain't gonna get to know this person? Are you just saying they don't do that?
That's what they do. That's why it's a situationship, because it came from us just having sex. So there's always this little awkwardness of we're really just fuck buddies that's getting close. And then it becomes a thing and it never really got official. This is you see this everywhere all day long. People just don't really talk about it, but that's more and then once that situationship is over, 9 times out of 10, the woman will call that a relationship. And she might be like, oh, it was a relationship, but it was really a situationship where we was kicking it for 6 months or a year. Like it's the most common version of a relationship right now, and that's where modest, slow women rack up bodies at, because a woman can have two
Mm-hmm.
to three of those a year easy, and she's a good woman. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I'm speaking for a specific demographic. I'm not speaking for people that's in their 40s and their 50s. I'm
Right.
35. I date women in their 20s. So
Mm-hmm.
this is the world I'm speaking of. I ain't in
Right.
the professional world. I'm not in the corporate world, but
Mm-hmm.
I do date women that's in that world. But I'm I'm two shakes removed for nug nug. So my experience ain't gonna be everybody's experience, but it's a very common experience. It's probably the majority experience going
Mm-hmm.
on. So
Mm-hmm.
it's situationships and hookup culture is why I'm trying to tell you that people are you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, somebody might
But,
not
but
be.
but listen to this. You
Mhm.
said those women that get into those situations she gets caught up in that. That doesn't mean she won't be kind, loyal, or a good partner,
So all right. So look,
right?
yes, you got a point. I give you that. But women do get the women. All right, if a woman comes to me and I don't ask about bodies, I just judge based off how they interact with me, how freaky they are.
Mm-hmm.
And they usually 99% of the time they're going to usually volunteer that information through
Mm-hmm.
different ways, just talking and kicking it and being comfortable and being vulnerable. They women just tell on themselves. They just can't
So
help
that's
it, bro.
every woman that you ran across, though.
That I've ever had like a long term kind of kick it with. Yeah, every most women just getting
They've
to know
all
each other.
been for us.
Hmm?
They've all.
No, they're all going to tell me ab- about their sexual history, basically, in some way or another.
So
Just
did that
talking it,
color your judgment of them?
but usually I'm already prejudged them before they had that conversation with me, and
Mm-hmm.
it's usually just validation of what I already thought. So I'm already got them in the category of how they act, and I can already tell how they move. Um, what they were going to tell me about their sexual history, which brings me to the point I was going to make. If a woman got 3 bodies and a woman got 10 bodies,
Mm-hmm.
or a woman got 15 bodies, or a woman got 20 bodies, you say we can't tell. I can tell. I might not. Is I can tell more about her personality and how she act more than I can tell about being inside of her. I can tell because
Mm-hmm.
when women, the more bodies a woman have, the less preoccupied or concerned with a relationship first and relationship minded she is. She's okay with having casual sex.
Mm-hmm.
The more body she got, the more okay with casual sex she is. So that's just that, and then that speaks to everything that you're saying with the loyalty, the respect, and women who prioritize those type of things usually prioritize the relationship as well, and they usually prioritize saving themselves for the right ones, not being a virgin per se, but they're getting in and out of relationships. They not having the whole phase. They not just on the dating apps busting it open for a dude that look handsome. They're trying to find somebody that they like. They're not really giving it up the first or second date. They're trying to get to know you, and they're going to give you that. They want everything to be in one package when they are the wifey type. Like we call that wifey type for a reason. And that wifey type archetype comes with all of those things that you listed as a good woman, on top of usually having low interactions with a lot of men, because they're not trying to have a bunch of their relationship based women. They don't, you know what I'm saying? And it's not to say that 304s ain't cool, because I'd have had situationships with my little, yeah, that, you know, I knew she was a busted down. First night I met her, we had sex, and I done probably kicked it with that woman for a year on and off. You know what I'm saying? Because she is cool and she down to earth. It's just I know how she get. I know that if she do that with me, she gon' I'm not special. You feel me? I'm not that special. So
Okay.
we just go ahead. I'm gonna drop down, but you cooking. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Thank you,
For
Type
sure.
Pro.
For sure.
That explains a little bit more. Thank
Thanks
you,
for listening. Peace.
Mr. G. Mr. G.
Good evening, sister. How you doing?
Hi. What do you have to contribute to this body count?
Oh, wow. So my perspective may be different and probably more similar to how you see things. Well, not exactly how you see things, but um, I've been to those spaces. Speaking of the red pill spaces, because this conversation is
A
pretty
red.
much that,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
mhm. And these individuals you have on the video that you're reviewing, these are all people from those kind of spaces,
Right.
red pill manosphere spaces.
Right.
um I've always found it to be a little not strange but weird, because that is one thing out of the many things that's probably like the number one thing that you cannot verify. Or that's not like asking somebody how many traffic tickets you've had, where you can go and verify. Oh yeah, you a bad driver. You know how the insurance do, right? The insurance, they can pull your driving record. It's documented somewhere.
Right.
Even if the person wanted to be honest with you, and I understand from perspective, guys may be having that conversation, because guys in this society that we live in, it's a very hypersexual culture where,
Right.
From a very early age, little boys are, there's a certain should I say, aspiration to, you know to conquer and exploit, sexual things and whatnot. For men, um, I think men are looking at it, the way that, they're looking at women the way they look at themselves, where men will go through more women than women. And even men, we cannot keep count. Who nobody has a book where they write down how many people they've had
So let
sex
me
with.
ask you this. Let me ask you this to get a bead from you. So if I had I'll give you the same scenario I gave Vitor, giving you the God of man, a family of God. She has 3 bodies, and the other one has 6. You have a roster. Just say you have a roster, and the other, and you 6. One has 15. One has 6. One has 2. Whatever. Then you find out that they have that, but then you get along better with the one who has 6. You say, I really, really, hey, I'm just gonna roll with I'm gonna do situation shit with but if she has more bodies, I ain't gonna deal with her over 5. But then you find out the one who has 6 bodies is the best one, who's the loyal, the respectful, the kind, the one who want to be in a partnership with you. When does body count start to not matter or to matter? Does it matter at this particular point, or what? I'm trying to gauge where you are in this scenario. I don't think body count matters as much to me as if opposed to somebody being a loyal, respectful, kind person and a good partner. Body count doesn't matter to me more than those things. I'm saying, how does it rank in your book? It's important, but is it more important to have a partner loyal, respect, and X, Y, and Z? That's what I'm asking.
So this is and I guess you're looking for a yes or no answer. But I do think just the way you lay it out, people that actually live real life. I'm a 40-year-old man, right? Um, I just my daughter, well, today she just turned 18 months. So I'm a late bloomer in this whole thing. That's my first and only kid, right? Um, and as a person who grew up in the church, the whole religious thing, as a younger, younger teenage boy, youth minister, I thought I was going to be a pastor. There's a certain life I'm going to live. I'm going to have a family. And it didn't happen like that. I went to the military, life, things happen.
Right.
And I do think in this day and age that we live in, most of us men, we know how difficult it is. Most of us who are intentional in just real dating life, and this is why you're having this discussion right now. This is why those guys are having this discussion, because the dating climate is very complicated. It's not black and white. So I don't understand, for something that is very difficult like that. I'm about to say, well, that just has a certain degree of difficulty. I don't know why people will be so binary with it, right? Oh, your body count. No, that's not what really matters. When you've been out of here, you got real life experience. You're not looking at it from the perspective, oh, how many bodies you got or whatnot. The person who got the highest body count, maybe the person who's the best for you.
Yeah.
Maybe the person that bring you the most joy, the most peace.
Right. I'm saying they're equating. It's like people equate high body count with a shitty partner. That doesn't make you a shitty partner. My whole thing is, I have to take an individual. I have to take them how they treat me, how they move in the world. I get it. Body count is important. But to me, I'm saying, to me, that's less important than a person who's loyal or respectful, or who can be a good partner, or who's kind. That's less important to me. If I walked into a room and it was a body count higher than what I wanted, and that those were the only people I would ever see, and I had to make a choice, that would not be important. That would not be on my list as things that I would look at. I would just throw that out, because what difference does it make if you only got one body, or you only got 5 bodies, but you calling me a bitch ass nigga every night, or I can't trust you to spend the money right, or I can't trust you to be a nice person, right? So I'm just saying, the people, when they get on here and say body count, you have to think in terms of, how is that in the overall picture of people? How important is that when the person is calling you names and they only got one body, or they flaky with the money, or I can't trust them because they disappear, or they flirt with other people and they can't be loyal to me. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Can I say one last thing? I could understand, because I know this is another big topic. Baby mothers, single mothers, baby motherism, right? And I can kind of understand that, because there's like some real factors that come in play in a relationship when you enter a relationship with a woman that that already has a child or children, because there's the dynamic of the child's father, the child himself, the woman, and things of that nature. That's more understandable.
Yeah,
But
that's understandable. I understand that completely. I understand that a person doesn't want to take on. I heard this the other day, which was wild. Somebody's saved game, somebody's unsaved game, or something like that. Who would want to take on somebody's unsaved game? And I get that, but that's on a different. That's a different thing than a body count. Something that's subjective, something not subjective, but something that you actually really won't ever know the truth about, even if somebody. You know what I'm saying? You know how many kids she got. You know she got 1, 2, 3 kids, but you don't know how many bodies she got because she may or may not be honest about that, or she may not even remember. People may not even remember, or whatever. I'm just saying. Anyway.
Yeah, and then it's the same thing to what I said earlier. A woman with a child. Now, I do think some men like me, that was childless, and then my exception was always okay, one child, one child. I think you can have a certain degree of filter, right? However, a lot of the ways that guys typically in the red pill space talk about single mothers, I think it's a bit too generalistic and somewhat stupid. I don't think just because a woman is childless, she has no kids, that does not automatically mean she's better than a woman that has kids for you. It does not automatically. It does not automatically mean you're gonna be living your best life.
Right.
I'll shut up for now so the other brother can say something.
Right. I understand that. Aaron, hello.
Hello, how are you doing?
Fine, thank you. We're having this discussion. Well, we got off into a different kind of discussion, the body count discussion, and then the baby count discussion. What say you?
So I think we're conflating probability with possibility. Here's the thing: the most valuable asset any human has is time, and that's because it's limited, and we don't know limited to what to what amount, right? So we cannot waste it. Time that is spent is time that's gone. So we have to think about things, especially choices that we make, very important choices, with probability in mind. And we have to employ different metrics we can use to assess greater probability. One of those is body count. Now, the difference between 3 and 6, although 6 may be double 3, they're still within a window of reasonability. And I think to answer your question, at what point does body count really start to matter is in the double digits, where you take the ideal body count and double it, where that doubling of your body count ideal metric steps outside of the window of what's reasonable. So, for example, the difference between 8 and 16 is a far more impactful delta than the difference between 3 and 6. And even less so, the difference between 1 and 2 is negligible, even though 2 is double what 1 is, right? So you have to look at it that way. And when you assess probability of someone's character, looking at the way they discipline themselves with how they treat their body is a great character tool that you can use to determine where they're going to be in other facets of their life, right? Because along with time being a very limited commodity, our body is the only one we get, and the amount of repairs that are available to us are very limited and very intrusive, right? In fact, if we make repairs to the body, it's probably going to come up with other additional problems in the future that should never have been, right? So, to prevent creating a solution to a problem that shouldn't exist, you look at probabilities within windows of acceptable tolerances to make sound decisions, and that's where these conversations become useful, I think.
Right. And I asked her, I said we earlier got into a discussion, and I said it depends on it also depends on the importance of it to you as a person that's looking for a relationship. If it's important to you, if it's a determining factor, 1, 2, all these being negligible, 1 and 2 not that much different. if this is important to you, then stick to what's important to you. If it works for you, saying I'm never going to deal with somebody over 5 bodies, then that's fine. That works for you. I'm saying for me, I have to look at more. I have to look at more than just a trauma factor, if you will. I have to look at more than that, because I look at it this way: a guy that has 3 bodies can be a shitty ass person, and a person that has 6 bodies can be a beautiful person. So, and that's one of the like if I made a list of things that were important. Let's put it this way. This more on this people understand it better. If I made a list of things that were important, body count would probably be down the list at maybe 5 or 6, as opposed to other things that are more important. And I can live without knowing a body count. I can live without, and I can, and if you tell me I can just live without body count, I can live without that. I don't worry about that kind of thing. So I'm saying, is that on your list as number 1? Is that the most important thing that's important to you? Is the body count? That's what I'm saying.
Me personally, no, comportment is. But telling me that it's 5 or 6 on your list doesn't move the needle at all. It doesn't tell me how important it is to you, because I have no idea of how long your list is. See, without that contextual component being put in the position, I'm saying that, you know, if your list of criteria is only 7 lines long, then that tells me you don't care about body count at all. But if your list of criteria is 100 lines long, being 5 or 6 still makes it very, very, very important.
So if I say 10 things, because I normally say 10, I said kindness, loyalty, respectability, a good partner, communication, loves to communicate, loves to be upfront. If I put all of those things ahead of that body count, I'm still to the good. I'm still gonna have a better outcome if I just worry about the body count first.
If you look at things, go ahead.
No, you go.
So if you look at things and if you look at each of these criteria in a vacuum, then what you're saying is most likely going to be true. However, what someone holds, right, the criteria, their adherence to their criteria also says something about them. It says how principled they are, right? And that's a performance metric that they can essentially leverage or sell to a potential mate. So a man that holds the line hard on a body count number may have very little to do with the woman that he's seeking, especially considering that there are more than one woman in the world that he's choosing from, even though he wants to land on one. But what it says to her is this man is extremely principled and disciplined with his principles. So no matter where it is on his list of criteria, no matter how well it doesn't rank, the fact that he holds firm and true to that criteria and understands that he has what it takes to have that criteria met speaks to his principles, right? So that's something else to consider. Right. You can't, looking at it in a vacuum, and then to say that just because you hold true to this one criteria is going to leave you in a bad position where other criteria above it are no longer a viable option, I don't think that's fair to say either. I think there is a point where you just simply have to move on and seek something that fits both criteria, even though one may outrank the other.
Right.
If your top 5, if your list of criteria, your top 5 are all deal breaker level criteria, and you're working with a list of 20, then you got to meet whoever meets those top 5. Right. Even if they fall into conflict with one another, if you have someone that meets criteria 1 through 3, but is missing 4 and 5, move on. Right. Because there's a list of 20 that you can bend on. Your top 5 are non-negotiables, so don't negotiate. Right. See, I only make a list, and my list is only 10. My list is only 10 things long. That would be my list, because I don't need. I can determine the character, or I can determine the person off those 10 particular things. I would say, as I said, body count would probably not even hit. That wouldn't even matter if you hit all 5 or 6 of the initial things. If you hit all 5 or 6 of the initial things, and most people, if you put yourself into a criteria, boundary standards,
and those kind of things. I'm just saying, why is the sexual proclivities such a big subject when other factors are more important than that? Can we agree that other things are more important than the body count?
When it comes to a man vetting a woman, yes, but there are very few. I can tell you why most men put body count so high on their list of criteria.
Right.
Number one is because for a man to get in bed with a woman, it requires effort from him. You know what I mean? It's something for him to achieve and earn. For a woman to land in bed, it's simply a matter of saying yes. It's easy for her to do. It doesn't speak to her ability to achieve anything.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like it's not a scorecard that she can use to determine how good she is in other areas of her life. Whereas a man, if he's successful in other areas of his life, then by virtue of that success, he will land himself in bed with women. So that difference right there is why it's important to men. Another difference is because of the aspect of paternity. Mama's baby, papa's matey.
Right.
Looking forward, if, and this is a reductionist or a it's definitely a mindset that is not oriented towards positivity or you get what I'm trying to say. But if you're going to consider the worst case scenario, a man could potentially be put in a position, if she is not disciplined with her body, that she could never be put in if the roles were reversed. A man cannot pin a baby on a mother.
Right.
So that biological dichotomy alone makes men hyper aware of a woman's historical practices with her body.
Oh, okay. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Project Leroy, I thank you for the $5. HU, you can tune into JB's broadcast tonight to know why a woman's past matters, including her body. No, you all make it seem as though I say it doesn't matter. I'm saying to me, okay. Mr. G1804, $2. Our brothers really asking body count questions? Yes, they are. No, I'm not saying it's not important. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying to me, I would rather have a person that is kind and loyal and respectful and all of those. I'd rather have a person do that for me than to worry about that person that has a body count, that worry about their body count, because we're all trying to find that person that we get along with, that we can live with, that we can talk to, that we can jail with. All of us are trying to find that person. I don't think a person, for me, I'm saying for me, I don't think him having 20 bodies is going to, if he's not a good person, he's going to, or he's a person is going to make a difference. That's not going to make a difference to me. He has trauma just like everybody else. We all may have trauma. We may have trauma. I don't know about that. I still haven't decided whether I believe that or not. But I'm saying that person may be the best person for me, because that person may see me as opposed to the person that has two bodies that doesn't care one way or the other. I'm just saying, for me, for you, that's important. For me, I'm looking for a respectful, kind, thoughtful human being that has the strength and the character to deal with goofy people like me, and his body count is immaterial to me. I'm just saying, to me, I'm looking for long-term success. I'm not looking for a sexual deviant or non-deviant or a virgin or anything like that. That's all.
And Q, I do think that the kind of answers that brothers are looking, well, I wouldn't say answer, they're looking for that one specific answer. The kind of answer they're looking for to that question, I don't think a lot of them will automatically believe that person. Uh, most brothers, they want a beautiful woman. I don't know about any other person.
Right.
We like beautiful women, and it could be unbelievable for a man that this person who's so beautiful, so gorgeous, oh, you only got one body? I mean, you will not even believe it. And we don't. Here's the other thing. Guys have to really be realistic.
Wow. Okay.
Guys have to be realistic in the culture that we live in. And I think oftentimes guys are dreaming of a different world. We don't live in that world. American culture is very hypersexual. When you travel, go to other places, which I do, they are a bit different. Even places that may appear as hypersexual as the United States, we are way more the way we promote, and it's even commodified where a woman can get her body done and she jump on Instagram and she has a whole career and she jump on OnlyFans. We're a very hypersexual culture. That question people are asking, it sounds like a question that somebody would be asking in Afghanistan.
Okay. Zeus, are you still there or are you gone? Zeus. With Aaron. Aaron?
Yeah.
Okay. That's his question. Yeah. Or his
So to me, that sounds like there's maybe an inability to cut through the hyperbole, right? So to make these conversations more efficient, we have to be extremely direct, so much so that we lose fidelity in the conversation. Fidelity meaning we lose accuracy in the amount of in the detail of information being exchanged, right? I don't think that what's being asked is so absolute. I don't know men that are going on their first, second, third, fourth, or fifth dates asking, "What's your body count?" I don't know a woman that's going to answer that accurately unless she's a virgin, right? Or if at all. But what's being said is it's something that should be in consideration in the vetting process, and there are certain behavior components that will be able to tell you or give you an idea as to what her body count is.
Right.
And it's good to know that because then that will tell you about her character, right? Like when we look at resumes to find an employee, right? We're looking at their history of performance and we can determine their trajectory, if not necessarily where they are, but where they're headed based on where they've been.
I got a
question.
I
think these are all indicators that are important.
I got a question. So if I mean, take me for example, if I was a young 30-year-old, no kids, blah, 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 regular average body count. And I met this guy and he was like 35, 40, and he had a body count of 30. Body count 30. Should I worry about him, his reliability? Should I worry about this man who has 30
Well,
body?
insufficient amount of information is made available. How did he get this? How old is he? How and when did he acquire these bodies? On what were the circumstances? Right? How do you even know that that is the number? What's your accuracy? Your calibration tool. How do you know that that's an accurate number? You know what I mean? Like all this information needs to be brought to play.
That's what I'm saying about the women. I'm saying the same thing. How do I know? I meet you. I'm 30 years old. You say, how many bodies do I have? I say, I only got 3. How do you know?
Okay.
And how do you know I'm not lying?
So, right. So when you asked that question the first time, it was a woman vetting a man based on his body count, which is very much different from the advice I would give a man vetting a woman and considering her body count, right? The metrics are different. The calibration tools are different. The purpose of asking the question is different. Everything about it is different.
Why?
You said why?
I said why? Yes.
Oh, why?
I have 7 bodies and he has 7 bodies. What's the?
Well, so as I stated before, because we're different, and because what's needed to get those bodies, to accumulate those bodies, is different, And because of the outcome or the potential ramifications of those bodies going wrong are very different, and how those consequences can impact your significant other. They're all very, very different. That's why it's different. It has to be approached differently.
Okay. I'm still, I understand, but you can't tell me, hopefully that's not a roundabout way of saying men can have sex without having feelings as opposed to a woman. We're not saying.
That's not at all what I'm saying.
Okay. So, I mean, I'm saying to me, the impact would be the same. This is just it's just a conversation that I found inconsequential to have, because people are never going to be honest about their
Allow
body.
me to reiterate. One of the 2 or 3 most egregious ways a sexual relationship can go wrong is the birth of an unwanted child, right? So a woman can pin a child on a man that does not belong to him. A man could never do that to a woman. That is a diametrically opposite outcome that could come about the sexual relationship going wrong. That's one thing that makes it very different. Second thing that makes it very different is how one goes about acquiring a body. The amount of effort it takes for a man to acquire a body and the amount of effort it takes for a woman to acquire a body are 2 very different kinds of effort. That also speaks to the amount of discipline that they have to put forth, not only to acquire that body, but to ensure that body is the best body available. And that they're not racking up bodies just for the sake of racking up bodies, which is what a woman would be most likely guilty of.
Mm-hmm.
If her bodies are few, it's because she's very, very astringent and very, very discerning with whom she lets into her body. A man does not have to worry about being so discerning, because if women, which they do, right, choose which man they want based on his performance, then his performance does the discerning for him. He doesn't need to be disciplined in who he chooses as much as he needs to be disciplined in making sure he's choosable.
Hey, Q, can I ask the brother a question along that line?
Go ahead.
My brother, you don't think man, I don't know how old you are. I guess you're in your 30s, late 30s, 30,
44.
44. Okay, I'm 40. I'm 40. So we're right there. We're within the same range. You don't think that a man being out there exploitative and things of that nature, you don't think that can impact, not as the same, but similarly, impact them with the trauma? I mean, it's because I think sometimes people don't understand trauma. They think it's like it's supposed to be just specific catastrophical thing that happened, but trauma can be very subtle, and sometimes people may not even recognize that they carry trauma. You don't think sleeping with a bunch of women that can affect a man who truly want a good woman to build a family?
Yes, I didn't say it couldn't. I just haven't delved into that aspect of sexual relationships. And even if I were to grant that the effect that trauma has were equal, right? The effect that trauma has on a man and a woman were equal. And I'm not saying I subscribe to that. I'm just granting you that. Even if they were equal, it still doesn't speak to the points that I made outside of that. So in other words, for that argument to make the entire argument equal, you would then have to say there would have to be a much more significant impact on men as far as sexual related trauma is on women. And I don't think anybody will agree to that.
Yeah, I do agree, and I do like the way you answer the question, and you answered it from the perspective of a man who's lived real life. Because as a 40-year-old who's lived real life, bro, I can think right now of just one specific girl because I was on my young dumb shit, right? Like being just being typical man here in the United States and doing my dumb stuff. This girl was like one of the best girl I've ever dated and should have been my wife. And me and my sister, sometimes we talk. She's like, "Yeah, I saw her, da da da," and she's like, "Man, that should have been." And she loved my mother. Like, it should have been that one, but again, I was young, dumb, stupid, just doing me. So it can affect men to a certain degree too.
Yeah, it can, but I don't think it affects men enough to move the needle.
Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you, Zeus. You ain't here. Zeus, you out of there, or Zeus already dropped off, or we can't hear him. He must
No,
be.
Zeus is here. Zeus is just listening
Oh,
and
okay. I
taking it in.
was gonna say, you wanted to contribute to the conversation.
What question would you like? I thought the brothers gave.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
sorry, go.
No, I'm just saying. I thought maybe you were dead air. I thought it was dead air there. That's all.
I thought the brothers were giving good context to the conversation. I don't think we all have to agree on this, and that's the great part.
Right.
So I think these conversations are not being had in the community. Therefore, they have to be on the internet.
And just to double down, I hate to do this, but yeah, thank you to the brother that was asking questions. Great questions, right? And I'm glad you at least understood what I was saying to to be able to dissect the answer. So I just want to appreciate the quality of the conversation. Much to your point, Zeus. Yeah, absolutely, 100% correct. So, but continue. I'm sorry.
No, Aaron. You know I love you. You know I'm a fan. And yes, we welcome the new.
Yeah, right back at you, man. 100%.
We love the new brothers coming in as well. What I will say to the body count conversation, anytime there's an elected official, anytime anybody gets a job promotion, the first thing that comes on TV is their sexual history. And in relationships, if you go on the internet and you look up what's called the shag tree, it will tell you who's been with who and what they were, the timetable and everything else. So
is that a website or is that a page?
It's a method. So you can look it up and the method will come up.
Oh, okay. The shag. You said the shag
tree.
Shag tree. Okay.
So very interesting.
So when you say it's not important, that don't mean it ain't gonna come up. And to me, if I'm in a relationship, I hate that I get the surprise from somebody else. I work in entertainment, and if I'm with somebody and then I get surprised, the way you get surprised is never good. Having some ammunition, but like, oh yeah, I'm aware of that. AKA, nobody ever wants to get Scottie Pippen. Look that up. With that said, I'm in. I love you guys all. Thank you very much for having me on HQ. I still love you.
Thank you. Y'all give me your final thought, please. Final thoughts. Because I was so definitely going to leave early. Because I got things to do. So give me your final thoughts. Welcome up, Mr. G. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Let me say this. You're having a good conversation. I think I've been a sub to your channel for a while, but for last couple of weeks, I found you going live. I really like the amount of nuance you use when you're having these conversations, and that's needed. That's needed because in our community, online community, there's a lot of black and white approach to these conversations, not just this relationship conversation, but even politics. I heard what you were, was it last week or the week before? And that was a great conversation. Yeah, I like the way you approach it. You're very realistic with some of these things that's happening politically. And I hope people use nuance and just be realistic. Sometimes I think people are having these conversations like robots, like they're not stepping out there living real life. When you step out there living real life, you're having real experiences. You're gonna have to adjust things. You're gonna have to adjust things because just going with the rhetoric, yeah, single mother this, single mother that. Yeah, I mean, I do agree to a certain extent, but then when you go out there, you have the real experience with people. You may meet childless women, and then you never having like worse experience than women that have children. Then you're like, damn, I got to reevaluate my approach. So there's nuance that need to be having these conversations, and I appreciate you having these conversations. Appreciate you having me on.
Thank you, Mr. G. I am all about the nuances. I'm all about the shades of gray because I don't believe all women are this way or all women are that way or all men are this way and all men are that way. That's why I'm not a huge fan of a Cynthia G, and I'm not a huge fan of I don't know, fugazi, for lack of a person, right? So I'm not saying there's anything wrong with their perspective. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I'm firmly in the middle of hope and possibilities of people being able to get together despite the flaws that they have. And this more, I started out saying, okay, body count to me, let me make it clear. To me, body count is not number less than 5. It's not the most important 5 things. I think there's more important things that you have to think about in terms of people's body count, in terms of having a life partner. I think it's more important things. You put it on the scale that you put it on. I'm just saying, for me, it would not be a determining factor unless it was just the only factor, and it's not the only factor. I want to have a better partner. I want to have better relationships. I want to have a loyal person, a respectful person. And if that person just happens to have 20 bodies, then they just happen to have 20 bodies. That's all I'm saying. You make that determination for yourself, how that works for you, whether she's a single mother, she's not a single mother, or a virgin or not a virgin. We're all, as I say, we're all looking for somebody who's kind, respectful, loyal, and can be a good partner. I just think we all are looking for that. And I approach relationships in that way. I don't approach the relationships with, well, he dated all these people, so I definitely ain't gonna deal with him. That's not how I approach looking for a partner. Okay, so you approach it the way you need to. If it's successful for you, then do it that way. But if it's not successful, then you need to change. You need to recalibrate. That's all I'm saying. You have to recalibrate. That's all. And that's it. That's it. Thank you. Thank you. Big Aaron, please give me your last and final thoughts, please.
Yeah, this was a great conversation. Thank you for opening up the platform and asking the poignant questions to allow the conversation to happen. But we don't have to agree, right? But we should at least agree upon a baseline understanding of what is black and white. That way, as we assess the shades of gray, we can at least tell them what direction they're pointing in.
Right.
And even though we don't have to agree, as long as you speak with an honest tongue and listen with an adept listening ear, right? I think we'll all find common ground and we'll be able to find what it is that we're seeking. And in order to do that, you got to better yourself if you want to seek better. It's just the end of the day. But love one another, don't hate one another, and we'll be just fine.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. And Zeus, Sir Zeus. Hello.
HQ, I forgot to say it when I came on. I want to thank you for having me on the panel. No matter what I say, I love you. I was a little abrasive on my comments about the lamp.
No. You didn't bother me, Zeus. I know. I think I know you a little.
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the lamp. I was a little abrasive to the lamp. I want to apologize to the lamp. I love all my brothers and sisters in the chat, and I appreciate everybody. With that said, love, peace, and respect, and I'm out.
Thank you all. Thank you all. Thank you all. Right? Thank you all. And I would love to go over and listen to the Jason Black. At something, Jason Black. When I get done eating, when I get done eating, I'm gonna have a salad. Boom, boom, boom. I'm good to go. I want to have my salad. I put it in the refrigerator. From somebody gave it to me. Chick-fil-A salad. I want to have my salad. Then I'm gonna come back on the internet, not on my channel, but I'm gonna come on the internet because I wanna listen to some of the debates and things like that. Because I want to learn, I want to listen, but I also want people to it's getting late. I also want people to, sort of see what I'm saying. They said it was called, what was it called? Yeah, it's a Cobb salad. That's right, a Cobb salad. She said it was a Cobb salad. So I'm gonna have a Cobb salad. Come on the internet, and then we have these discussions. I'd rather have the small discussions and then listen to other people. And then, I am abrasive. I get all that. but I'm not trying to be, I'm just trying to give a different point of view, because some of us have different points of view and we still can be good human beings. We can have different points of view, have good human beings. But anyway, I got to go eat and then I'll be back. I might be on somebody's panel. I might be on somebody's panel later on. It just depends. Depends.